Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening. Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. Come back soon.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Hey, fellas, don't fight over that hot dog. There's plenty for everyone. Big, plump, and juicy, wrapped in an oven-fresh bun. Add mustard, relish, ketchup, and go to work. Yes, the hot dogs at our refreshment center are the best you'll find anywhere. Everybody agrees on that.
It's 3 minutes till showtime.
Thirsty? The refreshment stand is open with everything to satisfy your taste buds. Here's the menu: the hottest, freshest, crunchiest popcorn, each kernel popped to its fullest with that real movie time taste. Cold drinks. You'll find your favorite ice cold, tasty, and thirst quenching. And hot dogs, hamburgers, and candy too. Now a short intermission, so you'll have time to make your selection before the show begins.
It's 2 minutes till showtime.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Top quality hamburgers, the most popular snack in the country. We serve them plain or garnished to your taste.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Just 1 minute to go.
And now, on with the show.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Hello, fellow humans, and welcome to my stream. We're lifting off in the mothership today in search of dark matter gold. I'm in the €750 dark matter tournament, €10 buy-in. So far we're a little bit down from our start stack, but things aren't going terribly. We've played a couple of hands pretty well at the beginning, then we got hit by a bit of a cooler and kind of lost a few chips, but we're still in it. I think we lost the minimum on that when our overpair got capped by an underpair that hit a set. But I think we managed to lose the minimum on it, and we're still alive. So I think we're doing okay. Oakley dokily do. We're also playing the Dark Matter Nano. I was in the Falling Star. The Falling Star went horribly for me today. On the final hand, I shoved 8.5 big blinds that was left over. We'll get to the other, how I got to 8.5 big blinds in a second. But the final hand, I shoved 8.5 big blinds from middle position. Everything folded around to the big blind, who called me with 9-3 offsuit and hit the wheel straight. Ace, deuce, deuce, 4-5 was the board that came out on that. So his 9-3 hit the straight. So that was a pretty gross way to go out. And yeah, we got there by losing most of our stack in a house over house situation as well. So it was a pretty gross. It was a pretty gross day for us in the Falling Star. So we're just going to put that one behind us, and we're going to move on. We jumped into the Dark Matter Nano here. We'll almost certainly jump into the Black Hole Nano, possibly even the full-size Black Hole. I have a feeling I'm going to play the full-size Black Hole on Wednesday, because on Wednesday, apparently, scientists are going to announce or publish the first ever picture of a black hole. More accurately, almost certainly it will be the first ever picture of the event horizon and the area surrounding a black hole, because pretty much by definition, black holes are not something that we can see. We can see the absence of things, possibly, but that would be about all we would see. So yeah, that's going to happen. So I think in honor of that, I will almost certainly play the full-size black hole tournament on a Wednesday on stream here. I think that for now, this will be my last roll at the big Dark Matter tournament here. It's not going to be my last one, but we fired 5 in a row, and we'll see how this goes. But we're probably gonna put a lid on it for a little while. Maybe focus in on the black hole, see how that works for us. A little bit, since it's a slightly smaller buy-in. It's a €5 buy-in, and if we treat it as a freeze-out tournament, then it still works reasonably well for our at our bankroll size. So we might do that instead. I still plan to play the Dark Matter tournament, and I still think I've got an edge given my performance in the Nano version of it. But you know, it's a chunk. It's a chunk out of our bankroll, and it is absolutely a super high roller for us at our current bankroll level. So it's not something we can be firing at all the time. I don't think. I probably will use. I won't use all of my. Won't use all of my €10 tickets for Dark Matter buy-ins probably. Because I do want to, especially now, I want to, probably this week, I'm going to start rolling €10 tickets in to try to get €50 Unibet qualifiers and then into the €250 final, because it'd be pretty cool to go to London, and I know I'm running out of time to qualify for London, so I've only got a couple of opportunities left to qualify for London specifically. There's other ones I can qualify for, and I mean, if I don't make London, then I'll just roll it into Malta or whatever the next one is. Yeah, that's sort of the plan. But so I think that this week I'm going to keep I'm going to keep trying to win tickets this week, and what tickets I do win will probably roll into Unibet Open, Unibet Open qualifiers instead of into Dark Matter or other tickets. I might go for 5. I might try to play for some €5 tickets as well to be able to fire into the black hole this week, because as I said, I think I want to fire some at the big black hole this week in honor of apparently astronomers releasing the first ever picture of a black hole on Wednesday, which will be very cool if that is in fact what happens. For the record, I expect most people who are not astronomy buffs to be completely disappointed by whatever gets released, for the simple reason that it's going to be a radio astronomy image that's going to be a composed image of some sort, and it's going to be really, really weird. Wow. Wow. That river's just horrible. I mean, I think we're still calling everything off here with our full house, but if he has a king, we're dead now. Whereas we were crushing the king before. If he has any pair above us, we're dead now. So this hand just went from being basically the nuts on the turn when we checked, and it's now just barely a bluff catcher. I mean, that's just the grossest. Just the fucking grossest river we could possibly get. And I suppose I could fold there, but I can't, an ace high is going to bet there. Ace queen's going to bet there. Ace jack's going to bet there. I think. So I don't think I can get away. And I mean, I checked the turn there because I specifically want him to bluff into me on the river. So what am I, I mean, obviously I can bet the flop there, and given the hands, all that's going to happen is we're going to get all in. And thank you, Broad Joey. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Glad to have you around. Basically, at that point, I think all that was going to happen was we were going to end up all in, and I would still ending up having been rivered with the bigger house. And I think now we've only got like 22 big blinds, 21 big blinds. So yeah, we're going to 3-bet shove our ace king over the raise, I think. Might be another short day for us in the Dark Matter. After those 2 rather gross hands. Yeah, short day for us in the Dark Matter. After those 2 rather gross hands. Wow, so we've just basically been crushed. 0 for 5 in the Dark Matter. And I think in spots where, we've just... So let's go back and have a look at... this, because, I mean, that's just... It's frustrating as hell, to be honest, because I feel like we should have done a lot better in this tournament than we did. In all these Dark Matter tournaments, I just feel like we should have gone much deeper than we actually did. Right, so... Whoops, that's not what I wanted. This is the one that I want. So we get dealt a pair of 4s on the button. There's a raise. we decided to put in a raise and a call. We decided to put in a flat call, basically turning our hand into a set mine opportunity. And lo and behold, we hit the set. Awesome for us, right? It's awesome for us with the set of fours now. So comes around to us, and we throw it a we throw it a bet since it checks to us. We figure may as well throw it a bet here. We get a call by Horn Devil. We turn the full house, and this is where everything goes wrong for us actually, because we've just turned the nuts. So because we turned the nuts, we decide we're gonna check and let the dude bet into us. And literally the worst fucking river card in the world pops up for us, the 5 of clubs. Now, when he throws out the half pot bet here, we can certainly fold because there's a lot of hands that he's just got there with us on. But I think if we fold, we're folding to a lot of Ace X, because I think Ace X is now betting their 3 of a kind 5s Ace King is going to be betting and expecting to chop with other aces. Any king is now ahead of us. Any overpair to our hand is now ahead of us when we were crushing them on the turn. So we've got a lot of bluffs that we beat, but there's also a lot of hands that we're bluffing that would have bluffed that possibly would have bluffed a turn, or that would have called a turn bet. That have now just have us crushed. But I don't think we can fold here. I think we have to call. And of course, he's got one of those hands that just has us crushed, pair of jacks at that point. So then we end up with this hand where, again, I probably don't need to go quite as aggressive as I did, but at the same time, I think we just run into a situation where it's pretty crazy that we come up with a hand with such a big hand behind us. So there's a raise from relatively early position. We've got Ace King and 20 big blinds, so a 3-bet shove. It's a good 3-bet shove size for us, and I think it's a good opportunity where we're going to be ahead most of the time to get our chips in. Then we just get overshoved by the guy on our left, and it turns out that, we're just Ace King into 10s, and of course our Ace King doesn't get there. So, I guess I could have folded in both of those cases. I can just fold my Ace King to a raise. I can just flat call there, and then when I miss the flop, I can get out of the hand. But if I play my Ace King like a value hand, I don't really know how I get away from this spot here. And likewise with the 4s, I'm either losing my entire stack on the 4s, or I'm losing what I lost, because there's no way, if I bet the turn and he calls, then, well, maybe it goes check on the river then, and maybe, it's still roughly a similar result. But at the end of the day, I'm still losing a whole crap load of chips on the 4s hand because of a 2-outer on the turn. I guess he had 4 outs on the turn. He had 2 jacks and 2 5s that he could have hit. And then we just get crushed by then we just lose the race at the end there, when we've got a good chance to double back up into a reasonable stack again. So I don't feel awful about the way these dark matters are gone. I just feel crappy about the fact that we're 0 for 5. I don't think we should be 0 for 5. I think we've just had a pretty awful run of luck in this whole thing. So I don't know. I wish the 5 bullets had gone better, and I feel like there's at least one of them that we busted ourselves by making a rather overly aggressive move. but I don't feel like today. I mean, please let me know if you guys notice. If you guys think that I've played either of those wrong, let me know. But I mean, I just don't really see how I can get away from either of those spots. And I think my only other way to play the fours is to be more aggressive on the turn. But again, I'm wanting him to bluff into my nuts, right? So. Yeah, I mean, the check on the turn, for sure, but I want him to bluff into my nuts on the river, right? So, anyways, I'm going to hit a break. I don't have any new ads lined up for you guys, but we'll pick up with the Brady Bunch ads, I think, where we left off with them the last time. So, enjoy. And I'll be back in a few short minutes.
Hi, here are the eggs I borrowed.
Margot, this isn't Tang instant breakfast drink.
What's so special about Tang?
Tang is America's #1 instant breakfast drink for a darn good reason. You can count on its quality. Tang has a full day's supply of vitamin C in every glass, and you know Lori loves its natural orange flavor.
I really like Tang.
Okay, you've convinced me. Both of you.
Tang, the instant breakfast drink you can count on.
Miss Henderson, Thomas says you've got a secret formula for fried chicken. Do you?
You mean Wessonality.
Wessonality?
That means chicken fried in Wesson oil tastes light and delicate outside, juicy inside.
It tastes terrific. But what's the secret?
Wesson lets you fry at the right temperature so you get a quick crust that seals in juices. Delicate outside, juicy inside. That's Wessonality.
Is it okay if I tell my mom?
Hey, have you got the biggest news in frying? Wesson's bottle is lighter than ever. Pass it on. Wesson does feel lighter. This new plastic bottle's easier to handle. It's got a built-in no-drip top and no more mess.
Wesson's new light plastic bottle is shatterproof, too.
What's best about Wesson is the way it fries. Light, crispy, and juicy. Pick up Wesson in the new plastic bottle. It's lighter than ever. And pass it on. Wesson's meant the best in frying for 75 years, and it just keeps getting better.
Wesson vegetable oil is my old favorite. All natural, cholesterol-free. That's not exactly old-fashioned.
Wesson corn oil is part of our low-fat, low-cholesterol diet because we're concerned about reducing cholesterol.
Wesson sunflower oil is 89% saturated fat-free. That's right for the way we live.
Wesson vegetable, corn, and sunflower oils. With every bite, you know you're eating right.
When it says Libby's on the label, you will like it on your table.
Libby's doesn't just call their hash home style. They make it that way, with big, lean chunks of corned beef, potatoes, and special seasonings hash lovers love. Like all Libby's canned meats, definitely worth singing about.
You will like it.
You like Libby's.
At ease, gentlemen. Many of you out there fancy yourselves seasoned veterans of grueling, hellish toy campaigns. Some of you are about to see action for the first time, but none of you have ever come face to face with a campaign as fearsomely devastating as the one we're about to embark on. And gentlemen, that's no crock of cocky duty. The mission's code name is the Ready Ranger Project. The primary target, young men between the ages of 5 and 9, the 10 million who have been ejected by the Cub Scouts for being underage or classified 4F for bedwetting and thumb-sucking. We'll be on the air with a series of children's commercials with an impact potential equal to 30,000 tons of dynamite. Now then, here's a preview of what's in store. Eyes front, riveted to the screen. I shall return. I think you should know that I've just received orders from the President of Aurora empowering me to establish a vast Ready Ranger complex, to be henceforth known as the Ready Ranger Club. To enlist new and additional sales For you, each Ready Ranger will receive 3 additional Ready Ranger membership cards, which he will give to his friends. His friends will be coming to your stores and pick up Ready Ranger supplies. In addition, Ready Rangers will receive regular mailings containing news of activities, games, assignments, and projects. In the months ahead, I expect every last man to get this campaign underway. I want to see you get the lead out. You're to stop at nothing to capture your share of the market. If necessary, resort to psychological warfare. Battalion, stand at attention for the singing of the Ready Ranger hymn.
What helps you make believe you're on the trail? What brings adventure over hill and dale? A Ready Ranger pack, that's what.
Alrighty, we missed a little bit of action there. Not a whole lot of action, but just a little bit because I just couldn't break away from that. Whatever the heck that final commercial was, because that was just something that I think can only exist in the 70s, folks. Alrighty, we have got a couple of new tournaments rolling here. Just getting them sorted out now. Just registered in the Black Hole Nano and the Abyss Nano. Just getting all those set up for you now. It's good to see everybody here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, give me a few seconds to get the details sorted out here. There we go. Alrighty, this is our current layout. We got the Black Hole Nano top left. We got the Dark Matter Nano top right, which we won yesterday. Might have been Saturday. We won it one time this weekend, anyways, at least for our third time. And we've at the bottom left, we've got the Abyss Nano, a 60-cent buy-in, €20 guarantee. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations. I mean, it's not really Jesus. Jesus, the black hole just fucking escalated quickly. Or, sorry, the abyss just escalated quickly. Get a raise, a call. A fairly chunky 3-bet to start with, and then just in for 6,300 chips. I guess our jacks are no good, but I mean, geez. Come on, people. That's a little crazy. Wow. Our jacks were fine. Our jacks were fine. What the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing folding jacks there, folks? The hell are we doing folding jacks? Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a horrible spot, but it's one of those. Like as soon as the five comes on the river, um, I know I'm just in horrible shape at that point. I just know my hand went from basically nuts to nothing in, the turn of a card. Um, but that's poker, and you got to be able to roll with those. You got to be able to roll with those punches, eh? Alrighty. So after we folded our jacks here in an absurd spot that we never should have folded our jacks in, we flop trip sixes. I was going to bet that, but I think I'll see if somebody else bets into it. I'll bet the turn now for sure. But part of it is I know Margaret is fairly aggressive and be be betting into things relatively light. So I was kind of trying to give her a second chance to throw some chips in the middle. But as it is, we'll throw our chips in the middle now. We've got the best hand here like all the time, so it's not like we're concerned about being behind at this point. But and I mean, I still think we do. I mean, there's going to be a random Jack Six out there from time to time, and certainly Margaret is one of the players that could have one of those random Jack Sixes or Queen Sixes. But you know, we're the we're the best hand there pretty much all the time. There are very few alternate universes in which we are not the best hand in that spot. So we're just going to call down here on the black hole, I think, with our top pair. And yeah, we're just going to continue to call down. There's not a ton of draws that got there. And we're just going to continue to call down. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So the ace-king was just had us crushed the whole way. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the hands that we're going to be up against there from time to time when he three bets. It's kind of the top of his range, but, that's cool. Alrighty, so for the zoomed in look, we've got the black hole nano running where we just lost our ace-5 to ace-king. But we're still got chips, and there's still a long time to go in that one, as we know. We got the dark matter nano running here, where we're also not doing so great. We're in bottom place in the chips, but there's lots of time to go up with that, and we've still got. I guess we don't have a ton of big blinds in there either, so we're gonna have to do something pretty quick in that guy. Yeah, we've got less than 10 big blinds there, so we're getting our money in here with our ace-9. Just a quick look, we got also the Abyss Nano here, and yeah, we're getting the rest of our chips in here with our ace-9 at this point. And we are done in the dark matter nano. It is not a good day for us to win marginal pots. It is not a good day for us to win marginal pots today, folks. It's been a pretty gross day from that perspective. But hey, it's the way life goes. It's the way poker goes. Well, that's the way she rolls, folks. Just looking at some of the other tournaments coming up. We got the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano starting in a few minutes. Picked up an interesting hand here on the black hole. It was limp to us, so I think we're going to put in the bet here. We're going to fire out. Yeah, no, I mean for sure, and like I say, using the tickets really has helped it not impact my bankroll a huge amount. And also the fact that while we've been busting out of the big dark matter, many of the days we've been going deep in the black hole nano for 12 or 13 euros, or we've been winning the dark matter for 4 or 5 euros. We've been winning the Titan for 6 euros. We've been doing those sorts of. We've been going deep in the falling star and pulling in a couple of euros in bounties and a couple of euros in prize pools. So we've been able to offset, even when we haven't had tickets, we've been able to offset our winnings or our losings in the dark matter with wins in the smaller tournaments as well. So that's definitely helped. It's definitely helped the dark matter, or it's helped us help the bankroll survive our dark matter bullets. And I don't think I'm going to stop playing it. I mean, I don't feel like I've been outclassed in it. I just feel like I've been, I feel like I played badly in a couple of spots in 1 or 2 of the tournaments. But I also think in most cases we've just been in spots where had we not gotten super unlucky and the 5 comes on the river, we have a chance to get 8,000 or 9,000 chips at that point, and have a really good stack. And the same thing has been true in a couple of other situations where we've just not been able to hold on to the best hand, and otherwise we would have had a massive stack and been able to potentially go deep in it. So I think it's just a matter of run bad at this point in the dark matter. But I don't know. Maybe I'm deluding myself. Maybe I'm out of my league there. But it doesn't feel that way to me, frankly, and it feels like it's just been somewhat bad luck in there. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep firing at it. Not quite as aggressively as I've been the last week. I don't plan to fire it every day, but I'm gonna be firing it on a fairly regular basis. So we flipped a gut shot here in the black hole nano. So I think we're not going anywhere for a half pot bet. I think we might even put in a raise here if he bets to us. I was going to put in a raise to a reasonable bet like a half pot, but a tiny bet like that is really weird. So if I go check and it goes check, check, I'm going to lose this all the time. It doesn't really make sense for me to bet there when I've been check calling him the whole way down. Although the lead out when the ace comes actually could have, yeah, that was my concern when it goes check, check there, and it's going to go check, check a lot when he's hit something on the flop. If I actually bet there, there's a good chance I get him to fold. So, yeah. Oh well. Missed opportunities. It just feels like it looks really weird for me to go check call, and then donk lead river like that. Although I guess it looks exactly like an ace, which is what I was trying, which is what I would be trying to represent there, which means I probably do get the fold from it. And he probably mutters something about, fucking donk lead, fucking calling with ace, blah 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 blah. But that's the way it goes. Interesting. Interesting. Should have probably put in that bet. Should have probably led that river there when the ace comes. Because my check call line certainly does, I mean, in my mind, it certainly does look like I'm on an ace X that's trying to hit, like ace X overcards that's trying to hit above something that he's hit on the flop. That's just trying to float, right? Wow, we're folding hands like crazy. We folded trip sevens here pre-flop. When we decided that playing 7-4 was a bad idea, which incidentally I still agree with. As a general decision, playing 7-4 is probably going to be a bad idea most of the time, but as we see, it can work out sometimes. As I said in Ian's chat yesterday, I always like to point out to everybody that hands like 7-4 have exactly as much chance of hitting the flop as hands like ace-king do. Granted that when hands like ace-king don't hit the flop, they're going to win a lot more often at showdown than hands like 7-4 will. But they do have exactly the same chance of hitting flops. Average field in the dark matter has been... I don't know. It's typically under 100 from what I've recalled. I haven't really tracked the total numbers at all. But yeah, it's typically been less than 100, I think. Cool, MV. Zombie Maniac. If you are a Zombie Maniac, that was a rather unfortunate hand for you. But Margaret's a pretty wild player, so. So I guess we should put our 0 in the dark matter slot and in the dark matter nano slot. We will be registering into the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano, however. So let's do that. Alrighty, that is up and ready to roll as well. We got 255 in buy-in so far today. Oh, that's gross, MVE. Yeah, that is gross. Both of those hands were just disgusting. That was very gross. Margaret, I mean, that's just ridiculous that she's such a wild, wide player that I mean, I've no doubt that you should have gone all in there with your trip eights, and it's just absurd bad luck that she happened to be there with the better 8. Yeah, true enough. I mean, you hit the flop worse a lot of times with the 7-4, and I mean, I'm not trying to say that they're the same hand pre-flop by any stretch of the imagination. That's not the point I'm trying to make. It's more a comment on when people are offended by the fact that they raised with ace king and got called by 7-4, and the flop come 7-4 ace, and they lose a bunch of chips with it because the 7-4, and I'm like, the 7-4 has just as much chance of hitting two pair as you do on that flop. So it's not that unlikely, dudes. It's not that surprising. It's not that surprising. It's the hands of pair over pair where the under pair hits the set. Now those are unlikely in the realm of poker, at least. I mean, it's still like a 1 in 5 shot, which is as I like to joke, if every time you cross the street you had a 1 in 5 chance of getting hit by a bus, you're probably going to think a lot harder about whether you're going to cross the street or not, and how important it is for you to get to the other side of the street. The value of what's on the other side of the street is going to become super important to your calculation as to whether you're going to actually take the chance to go across or not, right? So that's so even there, it's still a big chance, but. Yeah, I mean it's weird. I still like the black hole, and in the black hole nano, I tend to fire one bullet more often than not in that. So I actually tend to play the black hole nano as a freeze out, generally speaking. I've obviously rebuy, and a lot of times if I do bust out early, I will rebuy. But it's also not a tournament I like to rebuy in particularly late. Like after the first hour, I'm probably done with my rebuys in the black hole. Whereas in other, like in the Titan's only open for like an hour and a bit. But I mean, in the Titan, I'll be firing pretty much the whole time. If I bust out, I'll be willing to fire pretty much the whole time, right up until late reg ends. Whereas the black hole, that's not even close to the case. There's a clear cutoff point where I'm just not willing to put money into the middle anymore in that one. But because of the rebuys and because people fire so liberally in that one, and I assume in the bigger one as well, the prize pool sizes get just ridiculously big for a 50-cent tournament. In the we're looking now in the black hole, and it's a 30 euro and 77-cent first place prize for a 50-cent tournament. I mean, that's a pretty absurd payback rate, right? Hello, Pinky. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, entitlement tilt, exactly. That's actually a great way to put it. People expect to win with certain hands, and it's like, well, no. I mean, this is poker, and shit happens, right? It's not, you know, you know, just because I have the nuts on the turn with my fours full of fives, doesn't mean that's a super strong hand for me to, for me to be, and that as we saw, it can pretty easily, lose it on the river. And that I was actually lucky that the 5 comes on the river, because that's the one river that I know I'm crushed with, right? I mean, the jack comes there, I don't have a fucking clue, right? I'm probably reshoving to his bet there when if the jack comes, because I got no clue that he obviously can have a pair of jacks there, but there's no reason for me to put him on that, right? So yeah, it's the 5 was actually in many ways the 5 was the best card that could have come for me there. If a card was going to come to beat me, it was the best bad card that could have come for me, I should say. It's obviously not the best card that could have come for me, but it's the best bad card that could have come for me. So we're just going to keep 3-barreling here. This is a rebuy tournament, right? Gross. Gross, 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 gross. Probably was a dumb call, but what are you going to do? He's obviously turned his queens into a bluff there, given the way the hand's gone. I mean, my 3s obviously don't beat many bluffs, but alrighty, so we'll get our... Hey, Mike, how's it going? Yeah, it wasn't even a good bluff catcher, really, with the 3-3. Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, I agree, Clydes. I think the people that are firing a bunch of bullets into that are probably not playing their best. Probably not playing the best strategy for that, I wouldn't think. But it does bloat the prize pool nicely, which means, min cash is usually 3x the buy-in. If you've only spent one buy-in, it's a pretty decent return usually. So, I mean, I don't know. Well, I basically knew with the 3-3 there I was calling with a bluff catcher. But, and it, frankly, not a very good bluff catcher at that, now that I'm thinking about it. So. That's you, Pinky? It's a good hand. I mean, part of the problem here is that there's not a ton of bluffs that you could be on here at this river. By the time I call this, there's not a ton of bluffs that you could be on that haven't gotten there. So that's really where my problem is with that. But I mean, to me, you've clearly turned your queens into a bluff, your king queen into a bluff there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one, but yeah, Crazy Papa as per usual. We got Crazy Papa on our right. So you know, life is life is typical and normal. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, and it's a good bluff, and it's and at the end of the day, um, my threes don't beat a ton of bluffs, so I shouldn't even really be calling there with my pair of threes, frankly. So it wasn't the greatest move on my part. There's a ton of hands that you're going to bluff there that I'm still not beating, and there's actually not a lot of bluffs that I am beating that you're there with. I don't think, other than pure air, which you can be there with pure air sometimes, but it's just not going to be very often. I don't think. So I don't know. I probably shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't have made that call at the end. I mean, the truth is, one of the reasons I did call too is that it's a rebuy tournament, which means I can still fire one more bullet into this puppy, which I probably do at some point. I just need to get in. I just need to find a spot here to get in. I think this might be it. Not thrilled with 6-7, but it's got more value than a lot of the other hands I've been seeing. So, and like I say, the whole point of this is I plan to rebuy this anyways if I bust. So, and I'd rather get the chips earlier rather than later. Yeah, I still haven't decided whether I like the 17% or not. It's it definitely makes some of the payouts really, really bad. I mean, there's a lot of bounty tournaments that don't have a buy-in back for your min cash, and there's even other ones. Stuff like the Titan. If you spend 20 cents for one buy-in and one add-on in the Titan Nano. And you min cash, you're likely to make about 6 cents, maybe 9 on a good day. So that's another one where the payouts just seem really, really, really low. So yeah, we're gonna throw one more. We're gonna throw one more buy-in at the Abyss and see what happens. I think that's probably where we end with the Abyss, though. Let me add that to our bankroll tracker. Make sure that gets recorded as 2 bullets today. Yeah, exactly. The 3-3 is, I mean, in hindsight, the 3-3 was just not a hand to be calling with there at all. And the excuse that I was willing to rebuy isn't really a good excuse because I still shouldn't call there if I've. It's just giving away chips and giving away buy-in if I call there when I know I'm behind. So it's yeah, wasn't a great call on my part, no matter how we look at it. But hey, enjoy the chips, Pinky. Enjoy the chips. So currently we've got the Abyss Nano on our second bullet. Let's update our title with that as well. 2x bullets and 2x bullets. And we will also have we've also got the Black Hole Nano still running, and we will have the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano here running in a few short minutes. I think tomorrow and Wednesday I might be looking at there's a €5 Falling Star bounty tournament that starts at about an hour ago now at this point. I noticed it after it had started and had been running for about half an hour, so I didn't really want to late reg it, but I think I might jump into that one tomorrow and through the week, because I think the €5 is going to be my. I mean, I've got about 30 of those buy-ins, so. Aha! We picked up a pair of aces in the. We picked up a pair of aces in the Abyss Nano. So we are going to put in a pot bet to that, I think. We get called. We get shoved on. We Hollywood for a few minutes. We Hollywood a bit. We Hollywood a bit. What do we want to do here? What do we want to do here? Yeah, I think we want to reshove. Jack 7. Really? Jack 7, dude. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. I guess if I just call there, he might, the third player might come in as well, but that actually does put me 3 hands instead, so. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth, I agree with you guys, I don't think it's worth me getting involved with. TC67 is getting his ass kicked a little bit, but and now we have kings. We get shoved on. And I guess we're calling these both off. Hopefully we can, kings can do their work. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Kings do a very good job there. Give us a nice little stack. We'll be pretty near the top of the chip stacks with that, I think. Second or third, probably. Certainly not 13th anymore. There we go, third. Third in chips now. Nice spot to be in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start playing those a little bit more. I mean, 30 buy-ins is still a bit aggressive, so I think I still have to consider that to be a high roller for my bankroll. €2 is probably my sweet spot at the moment, so I need to be playing more €2 tournaments. I wish there was more €2 bounty tournaments, but I definitely need to get as many €1 bounties and €1 singularities and €2 singularities in as I can now. I think that's going to be where my bread and butter is. I think there might be a €2 shooting star out there somewhere. I'll have to double check on that, but yeah. So the Dwarf Star bounty just kicked off here. Let me get that up on the screen for you guys. Alrighty, here's our Dwarf Star bounty nano. Interesting hand developing on the black hole. He raised, I called. I'm putting on ace X that hasn't hit anything at this point. Ace king that has hit something. Ace X that has hit something. Okay, fair enough. We just lucked out a bit with a big blind special in the Abyss now. Hello, Mav. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I should have actually bet there. I'm glad somebody else bet. I'm going to put in a bit of a raise here to clear out some of the people. I don't really want this. Although five-handed isn't terrible with the hand I have and with the board, but there are some straights that could come in at this point, so I think we want to... Get him on us. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, buddy. Good luck to you too with whatever you're playing. Let us know what you're. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know what you're playing. As is the case with everybody. So we're sitting third of 21 now in the Abyss. The Abyss Nano. Registration's not on for too terribly much longer in that one. However, we are in for 2 bullets at this point. This is our second bullet. Currently, that's our layout right now. We got the Black Hole Nano, we got the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano, and we got the Abyss Nano running. I don't think my pair of queens is terribly strong at this point here. Yeah, there's just a lot of ways I can already be behind or end up behind very quickly. At TC67, we've just raised into the big blind with Ace King on the Abyss Nano table. They're the ones that a little crazy with us before. So I think we're good with either an ace, king, or a queen. We're going to check back here and see what happens on the turn. I don't think we're getting away from any reasonable action here. Certainly not a min bet by any stretch of the imagination. And we're going to call pretty much all the action on the turn on the river that isn't like a shove. I think we just check back. There's no reason to. There's no value bet here for us. I don't think. I don't think there's any reason to turn our ace king into a bluff either, because we've got check down or showdown value. So check back. Ugh, so gross. So fucking gross. He just gets there with the ace 5 against our ace king. We should have raised the turn when we knew we were ahead. Yeah, the 2 Euro singularities, I must admit I don't have a terribly good record in them so far, but that could just be a sample size. I haven't played a huge number of them to date, so it could just be a sample size variance issue. But I'll bet my top pair here. I'm going to keep betting my top pair. Fold that one, I think. Get rid of the 6-7, I think. I might need to look at some of those UOS satellites. Problem with me is I'm actually going to be away for at least a week of the UOS series, covering a live tournament here in Alberta, a few hours to the west of me in a city called Calgary. From the 21st until the 28th or 29th of April. So I'm going to miss a good chunk of those, which kind of sucks because I was really thinking I might have a chance to make a run at the Nano leaderboard title. But I probably won't have enough. I probably won't have a chance to play enough events to do that, to be perfectly frank, this time around. But hey, that's life. You win some, you lose some. That's I'm going to take the guaranteed money from my work job versus the potential of winning leaderboard and or nano tournaments in the UOS, I think. And unfortunately, the timing just won't be. I won't be able to play any of them. I don't think. I just don't think any of them will be at a time that I'm going to be able to. That I'm not going to be sitting on the. I'm not going to be on the casino floor, busy covering hands and shit. So I just won't be able to. Won't be able to play. At least not as much. I'll be able to play the second week, I think, of it. Sounds like it's going to be 2 weeks, and I should be able to play the second week of it. So I might get enough in. We'll see. Alrighty, going to head off to a break, and we will see you back in a few short minutes.
Nothing's too good for my dad. That's why I brought him here to McDonald's. For the best cheeseburger ever. The quarter pounder with cheese. It's not skinny. It's nice and thick the way my dad likes it. And it's got 2 pieces of cheese. It's really a neat thing. And that's the way it should be, because for my dad, it's nothing but the best.
You deserve
Right, Dad?
a break today at McDonald's.
The Dolly Madison Gem Cutter is about to create Dolly Madison Gems. 6 gems in a package. Powdered sugar, crunch, or chocolate. They're a bite of great donut taste. Dolly Madison Gem Donuts. The neat-to-eat treat in a neat-to-eat size.
Ponce de Leon Park. Now, that is a beautiful little park where Ponce de Leon searched for the mythical Fountain of Youth.
A science teacher accidentally drinks from the Fountain of Youth, and Big John turns into Little John.
What a little voice. Where's it? I look like I'm 12. How can I be 12? I have a son who's 14. I am John Martin, your husband.
You might be able to fool somebody else, but you can't fool me.
If I'm big, I'll be a teacher. If I'm little, I'll be a student. I hate being called a little boy. You guys don't hate it half as much as I do.
Big John, Little John, which will he be? Premieres tomorrow at 11:30, 10:30 Central, 10 Pacific.
Have some breakfast.
I'll have what you're eating.
Corn checks.
I won't have what you're eating.
Oh, try them.
I won't like them.
Well, give me one reason. They're too crispy?
I don't know.
They're too light?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't like little squares?
I don't know.
Well, maybe you don't like the color of the box.
Okay, I'll try it. Not bad, Dad.
Wow.
Corn checks are really tasty.
Oh, I thought you didn't like them.
I never tried them.
I never tried them.
People who don't like Czech cereals have never tried Czech cereals.
America, what do you want in a cheese puff?
How about more cheese? Yeah! More cheese!
More cheese, please! New Cheetos Snacks has more cheese to please, and more real cheese flavor makes new Cheetos cheese-flavored snacks cheesier.
Now more cheddar makes Cheetos taste better.
There's more cheese to please.
With new Cheetos.
Hey, Carl, want a lift? Got a new Dodge Polara.
No, thanks. Get in shape.
So bad it's really plush. Come on, hop in.
Gotta get in shape.
Air conditioning's really great in here. Got it for half the sticker price.
Air conditioning?
You get a specially equipped Polara with stuff like radio, power brakes, and Dodge will give you half off the sticker price on the air.
Air conditioning?
Well, don't say I didn't try.
Brad, wait!
Howard, about the air conditioning.
Yeah, terrific, ain't it?
I'm freezing.
Great special on air temp air conditioning down at the Dodge Boys.
My lips are turning blue.
Specially equipped Dodge Polara got over 50% off the air conditioning sticker price.
But, Howard, it's January.
So, who's going to discount it in August?
The factory air conditioning special on Polara and Monaco at the Dodge Boys right now.
Help, I need your husband.
For what?
To bail my clogged sink.
Oh, sis, plumbers don't bail.
But this crystal drain opener says you have
Fred, use my liquid plumber. Just pour it in and it works.
No bailing?
No.
No spooning?
No.
No mess?
No. Liquid plumber pours right through water, right to the clog.
Liquid plumber works? You're wonderful.
No.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. Liquid plumber. Just pour it in and it works. Sailing, sailing.
Hey, plumbers, start bailing.
Sinking?
No, their drain's clogged.
Wait, just pour in my liquid plumber.
Well, our crystal drain opener says bail.
Why bail? Liquid plumber pours right through water. Goes right to the clog. No bailing, no spooning, no mess.
It works that easy?
That easy. That's liquid plumber, matey. Just pour it in and it works.
Shoot.
And we're back with 3 tables of poker action going here. Going to put in the raise here with my pair of 8s against the active big blind of TC67 here on the Abyss table, which we will head to and make a somewhat closer examination of. I think our 8s are still going to be good here most of the time. Nothing goes better together than titties and cheese, right? Sam the Butcher as, well, first of all, a Cordoba salesman, and then as the liquid plumber guy. Yeah, it'll be Brady Bunch commercials all day today, or commercials featuring members of the Brady Bunch. Coming up, we're going to have some of the original promo spots for it, and then also some promo spots that run on some of the retro TV channels that replay, and some of those are actually really fun. Actually, they're like older. Barry Williams, the guy who did Greg, the oldest boy in the show, does some amazingly self-deprecating spots at various times for there, which we might see later on today. We'll certainly, I think, see some of those before the end of the day, and then I'll be rerunning them again. Probably more in my next stream. I don't know if I'm going to have time to put together any more new commercials or not before then. Of course, none of the commercials on my stream are new. They're new to us watching them, but they're all, of course, like 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. So on the Dwarf Star Bounty table, we've a call behind with our 2 pair here, I think. I was thinking of putting in a raise to clear out some of the table, and I probably should have, actually. Still don't think there's going to be an ace-king out there necessarily, and I think we're putting our bet in here with 3/4 pot bet here with our 2 pairs. I'm still pretty happy, I think, with our 2 pairs here. Ace-king is the only hand that beats us, or sets at this point, obviously, and I guess a 5-6 did just get there on the river, but I don't really think we can pay too much attention to those hands. I think we just have to value bet here. Yeah, it seems like a good idea. I think that's where I'm going to focus as well. Like I say, the €5 are kind of the top end of my non-absurd shot taking side. The €10 are totally out. I mean, that's definitely a super high roller if I play €10 buy-in, because it's only, I've only got like 13 of those, 14 of those buy-ins, so it's pretty. That's a pretty absurdly high place to play. But 5 is sort of where I comfortably call a high roller event, with having about 30 buy-ins at €5 level. That's what I call somewhat comfortable high roller event. So relatively happy to do a few of those. Got limp 2 in the big blind and ended up flopping top pair, so we let out for just under half pot. Looks like we might take it down pre-flop. We turn 2 pairs. I think we're going to keep the betting up. We're going to be getting calls from a lot of overpairs. We're going to be getting calls from a lot of things like ace 9, ace 7. I think still. So I think we're going to get value from a lot of hands that we beat. So a few draws have come in, but I think we have to keep value betting here. I think we should have shoved there. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention to my stack size, and I should have been, but we should have shoved there. But we get a decent pot, almost a double up. Yeah, I wish I was going to be able to play more. I was really hoping to take a shot at the Nano leaderboard. But such is life. That's the way life goes. And as I said, I'm always going to take the work hours if I get them. So registration is closed in the Abyss. We are 5 of 16 with 23 players getting paid. No, sorry, with 6 players getting paid. What am I talking about? 5 of 16 with... So there's 10 to go until the money. We are barely in a money spot. But we are in a money spot. I've just been calling down with my flopped pair of aces here, and I think I'm just going to keep doing it. He doesn't have to be on hearts or a better ace. He is on a better ace, but he didn't have to be. And I think I needed to keep calling that down. I think he's playing that hand exactly the same way with a worse ace, and I think he's playing that hand exactly the same way with hands like a king queen or a king jack that have hit the king on that flop. So I think I have to play my ace that way, I think. I just give up too much value if I assume he's got a better ace than me there any earlier or anywhere along the road, I think, actually. Because I think even on the river, he can still be betting a worse ace. Hello again, Pinky. Ah, yes, I see you there on my left. Picked up suited slick in the black hole nano. We don't have a ton of chips, but we're going to try to get some here. Yeah, pick up blinds antes. It's not a terrible result. I mean, I know I'm going to get a chance to play some of the UOS events. I'm pretty certain about that. It's just a matter of how many. So I probably will. I probably will play for some of the tickets just so that I've got some queued up for me to go for when I get back from my work. But yeah, I remember I played. I actually think I did better. I played a couple of low events and a bunch of nano events in the last one, and I think I did better in the low events than I did in the nano events, if I'm remembering correctly on that one, just because the nanos are really swingy, and as you say, large fields, so it makes it harder to get through on them. But they're fun. That sucks. Get them on us. Geez, the queen deuce just gets there. On the, you guys weren't watching that table, but on the BT Hep, got in with queen deuce against ace 8, and the queen deuce just gets there. Eight players to go until the money here in the Abyss Nano. We are just outside of the bubble spot currently. Oh yeah, I did notice that too. With the Nano rebuys, people just fire like crazy in those, especially in the UOS events. It's bad enough to watch people do it just in the normal Nano events, Nano rebuys, but in the UOS events, yeah, it was just absurd the number of rebuys people would fire, and the way that they would just, I mean, was almost like if I just keep rebuying and putting my money all in the first hand that I rebuy in, one of these times I'm eventually going to hit it and double up, right? And it's like, well, no, you can actually go a long time putting your money in like that and not hit it and double up. So, you can actually throw a lot of buy-ins away that way. Yeah, it makes good sense. No, it makes good sense. I mean, it is sort of game theory optimal from the perspective of the players playing against them, I suppose, when you rebuy that many times. Gee, suddenly Crazy Papa's got a stack as well. That's always a little dangerous. So we got kings and queens now on the river. That was weird. That was an aborted sneeze. I don't usually abort my sneezes, but that was weird. Oh wow, suddenly we lost. Somehow we lost that one. Wow, just with the better queen. Holy Jesus. I'm just getting our ass booted here. Alrighty, we're still 7 away from the money here. We are still 1 outside of a cashing spot, but that's okay. We can still get there. We can still get there. Excuse me. Gosh, we've fallen to 9th place in the Abyss Nano now. Definitely need to figure something out here. Although I do think people are going to go a little bit crazy here. And we might see some bigger stacks than us bust out. So I don't think it's, like with 30 some odd big blinds, it's necessary to go super crazy at this point. But we do need to start thinking about playing some chips, playing some hands. Get rid of the 9-3. Chunky raise there. Almost 6x. From Pinky. Just having a look at the I'm not seeing any specific. Oh, there's some UOS ones. Okay. There we go. UOS. Let's do that. Oh yeah. So there are a few in there. Yeah, I'll probably have to play a few of those. UOS qualifiers. And a few normal ones, just to have other tickets available as well. Oh, that's fortuitous for us in the Abyss. Margaret knows we probably got a big hand when we do this. Crazy Papa should know we probably got a pretty big hand when we do this as well. Just while he's thinking, picked up a pair of queens in the black hole nano as well, so we're going to be putting some chips in the middle with that probably, and I think it's going to be a shove situation. And I think we're going to... Yeah, it's 20 big blinds, 22 big blinds, and I've got a limp. I got 3 limps in front of me, so... we take it down on the black hole table. Putting in a raise with Ace Jack suited on the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano table as well. Top pair, make the bet. So it's still 7 away from the cash in the Abyss Nano. We are now sitting on the min cash spot, 6 out of 13. We need to start pulling some chips in the Black Hole Nano. I've got A7 under the gun, so I figured to put in a raise with it. It's a little weak for under the gun, but 6-handed tournament, so not terrible. But I don't think we call it off with A7 here. I've still got at least that raise fold in me, if not 1 or 2 more perhaps. Well, 1 more at least. But I think this hand is going to be a shove over any action with our 7s here. Probably. That makes sense to me. I'm okay with that result. Putting a raise with my A6 from the small blind here. Currently, this is what our 3 tables are looking like. We're in pretty big trouble in the black hole here. We need to pick up some chips at some point. So actually, the black hole is usually a tournament I play from the front, not from the back. A lot of other tournaments I play from the back a lot of times, but the black hole, oddly, is one that I usually play with a pretty big stack. So I'm in a bit of an unusual, unfamiliar position here, coming into an hour and a half since we started. Put in a raise with my king jack. Suited again under the gun is a little. It's a little early and late for that, but flopped spade draw, which is never a terrible spot to be in. So I think we're going to put in the c-bet. We got overcards to the board as well, so king and a jack probably does it for us. A king or a jack probably does it for us as well. The paired board isn't great, but I think we are going to semi-bluff shove. Wow. Wow. 10 just gets there. I think we've still got 30 big blinds. Yeah, we're going to buy one more bullet in this as well. So let's update our buy-in sheet for that. And update our titles. I don't have any problems playing 2 monitors. Pinky, I got 2 monitors running now. I got the lobby and my OBS screen on one monitor with some chat and stuff going on that monitor, and then I've got all my games going on the other monitor. But I often have game tables running on both monitors, so it might be something to do with your setup somehow, because I certainly don't have any issues with 2 monitors. And my setup's even weird because I'm running 4K on one monitor and only 1080p on the other monitor. So my resolutions are also messed up. Down to 11 remaining in the Abyss. We are 6th out of 11. So 5 to go until we actually hit the cash there. I just put in a raise in the hijack spot with King Jack offsuit, or as I like to call it, the Lonely Charles. It will be the Lonely Charles eventually. Right now I guess it's the Lonely Philip, but that's a little gross, so we don't like to think about that. And I call it the Lonely Charles, of course, because King Jack off is what King Charles will have to do whenever Camilla's busy. Putting in a raise with our 7s and probably calling off action. That is in the Blackwell Nano table. Certainly calling off that action. Are we calling off the I am all in? Yeah, I think we're shoving off the I am all in action. And we just don't get there. We're just, it's not our day in the black hole. So we're not going to buy a 3rd bullet. We're just going to be done in the black hole, I think. So we're done in the black hole. Just the Abyss and the Dwarf Star Bounty and Nano left to run. Do have the flush draw here in the Abyss Nano. We now have some straight draw outs as well, so I think we're going to put in the bet since nobody was interested on the turn or on the flop. We take it down. Pretty happy with that flop. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Of course, I'm running a desktop, so I don't really have a huge issue with that. But so Jack Queen got there on us. I think we have to keep value betting our ace. Yeah, that's gross, Pinky. Weird. Yeah, no, that is weird. I don't think I've ever had a problem with that. Yeah, no, I've had no issues with my with dual monitor support on Unibet. But then again, I'm not using a laptop either. I'm using a desktop, so it might be it. So we're 5 of 11 now in the Abyss Nano. Got a chance of pulling some cash in. A min cash nets us 11-cent profit on that tournament, but won't be anywhere close to making money overall for the day yet. 875 up top wouldn't be a terrible win though. And the Abyss Nano is one of those tournaments we have not put a trophy in our case for yet, so it'd be nice to win this one. I think we definitely have a chance. I think we can definitely could definitely get there. Ace 5 now. Off suit. The Dwarf Star Bounty Nano, for the record, is going pretty averagely. We've got just under a starting stack still. Haven't lost a bunch of big pots. Haven't won many big pots. It's been pretty flat over there since we started. Crazy Papa's putting his life on the line. I don't think we're going to get involved with Ace 5. Excuse me, with Ace 5 though. Crazy Papa may be crazy, but they're not an absurd donk that just throws the chips around. They're crazy like a fox. So we're not putting our money on that light against them in that spot, that's for sure. Yeah, you would think so. I mean, it should be a pretty simple application, you would think, from the perspective of your computer core. Put in a raise with a pair of 8s from Hijack and the Dwarf Star. And we take it down pre-flop. Ace Queen on the button in the Abyss Nano. You can play it aggressively, but I think I'm just going to call behind and see what the flop brings and reassess from there. More for pot control than anything else. I don't really want to bloat this pot. We could take it down pre-flop with a raise, but I actually don't think that's going to happen. I think the limp under the gun by Mitch is going to be relatively strong to the point that he's going to want to play the hand some of the time when I raise. So we'll just check back here. We've got the jack for the straight, and I think an ace or a queen probably does us a good job as well. We're going to put a bet in here on the turn card. And yeah, that's what's going to happen when nobody has a club or has not hit that, and or has not hit that flop. So cool. So we're still in fifth place overall. 6th place is getting paid. 11 people remaining, so 6 to go until we're in, or sorry, 5 to go until we're in the money. Interesting turn of events has happened on the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano table. We got a good chance to pull some chips in here, hoping somebody's going to bluff into us after flopping the nuts, basically. King 5's obviously the nuts, or King King, but I think we're going to be in pretty good shape here most of the time. I think we want to make sure we clear some of this table out at this point. I've also just put in a raise on the Abyss table with jacks. Ugh. How many times is this going to happen to me today? How many fucking times is this going to happen to me today? Jesus. Alrighty, so we're done in the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano after once again we flop the nuts when we turned the nuts in the previous one, but we basically have the nut hand and just gets there with the completely unlikely turn card. Oh well. Poker, I guess. And I mean, I could obviously check fold out of that spot there when I'm pretty sure he has the king, but at the same time, that's very exploitable. Very exploitable move and a very exploitable spot, and he doesn't have to have the queen there or the king there. You know, there's lots of other things he can have that I'm actually still ahead of. So no booties and no cash in the Dwarf Star Booty, unfortunately, today. Dwarf Star Booty Nano. No cash in the Black Hole Nano. So our only hope to save this day is the Abyss Nano, where we are 5 of 11 with 6 places getting paid. Put in a bet with my king here. I think an ace would have bet the flop. I could be wrong about that, but I think now we're just going to check through to Cheap River if we can. And I don't think we ever call here because there's too many jacks out there and there's too many hands with an ace or a king in them and a better kicker than us. So I think we're just out of the way. Just watching my gross final hand on the Dwarf Star Bounty come through on the screen again. Just gross and disgusting. Put in the raise here with my ace jack on the button. Gonna bet with my second pair here, top kicker. Up to 3 of 11 now. Yeah, Unibet needs tournament bad beat jackpots. Ace Jack. Ace Jack. You know what? I'm actually just going to get out of the way here. We're in a decent spot. That could definitely get us into some trouble. We would have been in position against Crazy Papa, but yeah, it's really quite frustrating when that happens, but there's not much you can do about it, unfortunately. Got another break coming up here shortly. Let me get some more Brady Bunch commercials queued up for you guys. Alrighty, so I think now we're sort of into a lot of the side cast members of the show as well, which I find kind of interesting too. That last one we were watching before Sam the Butcher was a short-lived cousin character that was introduced for a little while. I actually remember very well because sadly I looked very much like that kid when I was that age. So what are you gonna do? Alrighty, never fooled you Jack 4 apparently. Never fold your Jack 4 offsuit. We're down to 10 players remaining in the abyss, and we have been moved to a new table. No more crazy Papa beside us. McSqueak puts in the 12 big blind shove. I don't think we can call off with 8-5. Ace-9 would have been a good hand to have done what MC Hammer did with, but I guess I can't do anything with it now. Should probably shove hands like that more often on the button. I just don't want to double him up when he's got a big hand. That's my problem there. And I'd rather just give him the tiny free pot rather than potentially give him a massive pot. I know most of the time I shove there and he folds, but the stack sizes are not that much different to be able to really guarantee me that. So, and when he calls and I lose, I'm crippled in this spot. So I think ICM dictates I probably do that a little tighter. This is definitely a reshove spot. Assuming it folds to us. I don't know what I do if Gratis gets involved. It's probably a reshove if he calls. If he raises, I'm probably out of the way, but we're definitely going to put our money in against McSqueak here. Unfortunately, with 4-8, I can't do anything about the shove either, so hopefully Gratis has something I can do something with. Against it. We are on break, so I will be folding, and we will send you off to one more set of commercials featuring, I think, Sam the Butcher to start with, and then I think we might go into some of the other cast members after that. So enjoy. We'll be back after these short messages.
Help! This hair clog has me drowning in the shower.
Relax, we've got heavy-duty power.
Heavy-duty what?
Heavy-duty power in Liquid Plumber. It's got the power to disintegrate tough hair clogs.
Seems believing.
Observe. Liquid Plumber's got heavy-duty power to penetrate and disintegrate tough hair clogs. That's heavy-duty power.
Wow, shower's ready.
Yeah. Heavy-duty Liquid Plumber. Power to disintegrate tough hair clogs.
Help! I need your husband, the plumber.
What's wrong?
My sink's clogged. The party's ruined.
Oh, stop bailing. Get your Liquid Plumber. This crystal drain opener says to bail.
With Liquid Plumber, you just pour it in and it works.
Right through water?
Right to the clog.
No bailing?
No.
No spooning in? No. No mess?
No. That's Liquid Plumber. Just pour it in and it works.
The hit of the party.
Say, how'd you like to give a McDonald's hamburger or French fries or Coke to somebody for Christmas? You could mail them a hamburger, put a Coke in their stocking, or hang French fries on the tree. But there's an easier way. McDonald's 50-cent gift certificates. You buy them at your McDonald's, and they're just like real money. Mail them or give them to someone you like. They can take them to any participating McDonald's and buy what they want. That's right. Whoever you give these gift certificates to can buy hamburgers or French fries or Cokes or any of McDonald's good food. Isn't that a good idea?
I bought 3.
Who for?
One for my best friend and one for my teacher.
Who's the last one for?
Me.
Ah, that's a good idea, too. Why don't you give McDonald's gift certificates this Christmas? They're fun to give and a delicious way to say Merry Christmas. Get some at your McDonald's.
Today, everything rocks with the special excitement of rock groups, rock music, and rock fashions.
Get together with...
Now, Mattel announces the new rock flowers. Heather, Rosemary, Lilac. 3 out-of-sight fashion dolls. Each rock flower has a real record of her own rock music, a wild rock costume, and a posing stand so she can twirl on any short spindle record player. The rock flowers. You can dress and pose them like beautiful fashion dolls when you buy these exciting now fashions. Or you can play that they're famous rock singers performing for you and your friends. Get Heather, or Rosemary, or Lilac. The new rock flowers. Each comes with their own rock costume, posing stand, and record. Dolls and other costumes sold separately. Now you can get your own rock scene together with the groovy new rock flowers from Mattel. 3 out-of-sight fashion dolls dressed in wild rock costumes with a real record and a posing stand for each one so she can twirl on any short spindle record player. And look, you can buy these exciting rock fashions to dress and pose them in. The new rock flowers. Each comes with her own costume, posing stand, and rock flowers record. Dolls and other costumes sold separately.
Introducing Crispy Wheats and Raisins, an incredible new raisin cereal. Flakes are big, crisp whole wheat with just a touch of honey.
Hey, this is something else.
It's new Crispy Wheats and Raisins with lots of plump, chewy raisins.
Wow! This is something else.
It's new Crispy Wheats and Raisins, part of this nutritious family breakfast.
Hey, this is Crispy Wheats and Raisins.
It's new!
Look! Look, a munchkin! Don't look at us! Look at these raisins!
Mmm, yummy, yummy. Yes, raisins. Crispy Wheats and Raisins with lots of big, plump raisins.
Look at these big raisins!
Look at these plump raisins.
Gosh, it's Crispy Wheats and Raisins with big, golden, crisp wheat flakes touched with honey.
Part of this good, nutritious breakfast.
Look at these raisins!
Crispy Wheats and Raisins.
Oh, yum, 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 yum.
We are back. So one thing about those last commercials, the Ronald McDonald they have there, getting terrifying as hell. I'm sorry, that is the shit that nightmares are made out of. I don't know who the hell was in on the marketing meeting that decided to put that man in that makeup for this commercial. But I'm sorry, that is the shit that nightmares are made out of, folks. That is... Then, of course, there's the ad about how everybody loves rock from rock groups doing rock music. And, yeah, it's... can you say rock one more time in that song? Can you sound any less cool when you talk about rock music than you do in that commercial? I don't think either is possible. And then, of course, you move on to the Crispy Wheats and Raisins whole debacle, which, I don't know. I know it's got raisins in it, and I know they're trying to say that the raisins in their in their cereal are big, but I was getting a totally different message from all the number of times they said, look at these big raisins, folks. I'm sorry that there's just something else going on here. Alrighty, so we are at the final table now of the Abyss Nano 9-handed. 3 to go until the money. We are third of 9, so we are in a money spot, but yeah, he's a weird one. Basically, I've rarely seen him do one of those absurd shoves. The reason I call him crazy is because of the number of chips he throws around. He generally throws those chips around with a piece of the board. Now, he will be there with some pretty random hands at times, but if he's putting chips in the pot post-flop, he's got some piece of the board, and it's probably a fairly chunky one. So if you're looking at the board and you go, well, geez, the only thing that hits this board is a random 9-4, and Crazy Papa is betting, good chance that Crazy Papa has a 9 or a 4, or possibly a 9-4 in their hand. It's that sort of player. But they will overbet tons when they've got hands. Not that I've seen, not a lot of bluffing really going on post flop. Pre-flop, there's they will raise big with suited connector type hands with pretty marginal holdings. So yeah, that's really the best advice I can give to you. They're tough. They're a tough opponent. It's not easy to play against Crazy Papa at all because of the number of chips they throw around. It's really tough to get involved in pots with them because you know it's going to be a big pot. You can always be certain it's going to be a big pot when you get involved with Crazy Papa. So. So it's a good place to pick up chips. It's also a good place to lose chips. It's a pretty tricky spot. I much prefer to have Crazy Papa on my right than on my left. That's for damn sure. But generally speaking, my advice for calling off his big bets is you'd best be able to beat a significant chunk of the value bets on the board when you call him off, because he's probably doing that with value hands. Yeah, I'd much rather be in position against Crazy Papa than out of position against Crazy Papa, that's for sure. That's for darn sure. So it's a pretty nice day out there today. I think once my stream is done, I might have to go fire up my bike for the first time this season and go for a bit of a bike jaunt. I've got a Suzuki Intruder Velocia, nice little custom touring type bike. I enjoy. I mean, it's not terribly practical for a Canadian because we literally have to park the thing 4 or 5 months of the year at least, depending on what part of the country you're in. It might even be longer than that, but it's rarely less than that. If you live in Vancouver, you might be able to get away with riding your bike year-round, riding your motorcycle, or a good chunk of the year anyways. But pretty much anywhere else in Canada, your motorcycle is going to be parked for a good chunk of the year. So actually pretty early for me to be thinking about getting it out this year. In early April, but Our roads got cleared. We gravel our roads in the wintertime to give better traction on the ice and the snow. What that means come springtime is that the roads are covered with loose gravel, which makes it super treacherous for motorcycles and stuff. So I usually wait until the gravel's been swept up, and that's usually the end of April, beginning of May kind of thing when they finally get the gravel cleared up, because they've usually got more gravel, or they've usually got snow mostly through April on and off. But this year it's was gone by the end of March. It looks like it's going to stay that way. So the roads have all been swept up. So I think it might be time to pull the bike out and see if we can't fire that sucker up for another season. Yeah, no problem, Pinky. Anything I can do to help? They are a tricky one, though. They are a tricky one. Just talking about my bike. I'm just looking for. I got some pictures. Well, that one's me 10 years or 20 years ago with an old bike that I used to own in my chaps. That's not the shot I was looking for, though. That's not the shot I was looking for, though. I'm sure I've got some in here. Did I miss them somehow? I mean, huh. They must be in another folder. See if they're in documents, maybe. Not there. Oh, just give me a few minutes. I'm just looking for some pictures for you guys. Or a particular picture. Alrighty, I think I know where to find it for sure, so bear with me. Pair of aces. I think we'll definitely get involved with that. There we go. There we go. That's what I was... Those are the shots I was looking for. And I know you guys can't see anything there, but I will remedy that in one short moment. There you go. That is my... That is my bike. Wow. Fuck. There's Crazy Papa just getting there against us. And we are done. Bubbled in the abyss, and we have got nothing. So in all that time, we got aces, and then Crazy Papa just fucking crushes us. Yeah, that was me 20 years ago. And, on the bike, the first one. And then the second one is just my current bike. So I guess we're done for the day then. It was a rather anticlimactic day. We got close in the abyss, but just bubbled right there, getting aces against Queen 10 when, you know, he calls us there with really nothing but the flush draw and a gut shot straight. So pretty crazy call on the... I guess he had the flush draw on the flop, so I guess it's not that crazy on the flop, but I mean, wow, crazy. Oh well, I mean, that's life, right? That's the way poker goes. That is the way poker goes. So you got a chance to see my bike anyways, which I'm about to, I think, shut the stream down and go out and have a ride on. See if we can't get a run for another year. So thanks for hanging out with me. We'll be back on a Wednesday for sure for another trip on the mothership. Might be visiting the black hole in honor of scientists apparently publishing the first actual picture of a black hole, which will be anticlimactic for any non-astronomy fans because it will be a radio image that will be false color and false image, and it will essentially be a computer-generated image, which is not really. So calling it a picture of a black hole is really misleading, and it's going to be very disappointing for a lot of people, I think. But who knows? It might be ridiculously exciting as well. Who knows? So anyways, I might play a black hole, the full-size black hole on Wednesday in honor of that, just to see how it goes. But otherwise, I hope everybody has a great Monday and a good Tuesday, and we'll be catching you later. Over on out. For more vintage poker content from Mothership Poker, click the subscribe button and check out the playlists for all of our old archived content, as well as the ads only cut from some of the early streams.